Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Economics in Action. I'm Zoe Turner, and be ready to buckle up because we're about to dive into the high-stakes world of global economics. The pandemic came out of absolutely nowhere. It was like a surprise play in the last 10 seconds of the game. Completely shook the economic game plan. Today, we'll break down the key macroeconomic issues that emerged from this unprecedented event and analyze the big moves and major impacts. First up, employment. The pandemic sidelined millions of workers across the entire world, with industries like travel, hospitality, and retail taking the hardest hits. Job losses skyrocketed through the roof, and unemployment stats climbed faster than a sprinter at the finish line. The long-term effects, you may wonder? Reduced consumer spending and skill gaps that could leave workers sitting on the bench for good. Next, let's talk inflation. This was one of the biggest challenges of the pandemic economy. Supply chain disruptions and pent-up consumer demand led to prices spiking that hit everything from simply buying groceries to buying a house. Central banks jumped in to the adjust interest rates, trying to level the playing field, but inflation remains a very tough opponent. Now, onto supply chains, a real choke point in the game. Closed borders and shipping delays caused chaos amongst the world, leaving shelves empty and businesses scrambling for resources. From medical supplies to electronics, the supply chain fragility became the MVP of disruption. Many teams, aka countries, are now rethinking strategies, aiming for diversification and reshoring production. Another heavy hitter, government debt. Massive stimulus packages were rolled out to keep economies afloat. Think of it as the ultimate bailout play. But this came with a price: skyrocketing national debt. The question now is, how will nations manage the aftermath? Fiscal sustainability and inflationary pressures will be key players to watch throughout the economic rise. Finally, the pandemic widened the gap between economic winners and losers on the global stage. Developing nations faced the brunt of the storm with limited resources, while wealthier countries had the tools to weather the crisis. The result? Widening inequality that could impact global economic growth for years to come. And with that, folks, the pandemic was an economic game changer, and its effects will shape the financial playing field for years to come, with inflation prices across the border, everything from groceries to housing to simply living our lives will be forever changed by this pandemic. Thank you for tuning in. Stay informed, stay adaptable, and let's hope for a stronger global economy in the next quarter. Go ahead and tap that subscribe button for more economic info.